Hey guys, Sam here, welcome back to the channel. I am, of course, at the legendary Bodyworks in North London, Tottenham Hale, and it's an arms day. So I'm going to show you my whole arms day workout. I'm going to do triceps first, then biceps. What brought me back here that I couldn't resist is trying that overhead extension machine they've got by Arsenal Strength that was new, that had moved in when I popped over last time. It's somewhere down in the middle over there. That I really want to try that first and do it kind of full force rather than after all of the back stuff like I did the last time I popped here. So that's why I'm here, for arms rather than zone a little bit closer. And I'm having a really fun full day of it with the bodybuilding, because this is my road to 300 pounds journey. And after a little hiccup with all my traveling and extra videos and extra content and losing a few pounds, I can show you what I was on the scale just a little while earlier. I was at the big 300 because I took another trip to my favourite restaurant, Preto, obviously, and I went Brazilian style on that Rodizio grill. I had a lot more than last time, and I had my 2 cheesecakes this time. And then waited a while and rehydrated and got myself back up to a day weight of 300 pounds. But I only consider the journey complete when I'm 300 pounds in the morning. So I'm going to push for that. And it's actually kind of a little bit like running a marathon, you know, when they keep a sprint finish at the end, when kind of all of the pacing yourself and strategy of the whole race is like thrown out the window and just everything left in the tank for that last sprint finish. It's like that with this 300 pound journey, because I intend to wind my little protocol down and go into cruise control and be very sensible, very responsible, and set a good example and all that kind of thing in the coming weeks. But that gives me limited time to hit the goal this time round. And so my diet plan has now gone out of the window. So what I'm doing now, as something akin to a sprint finish in a marathon, is just hitting up an all-you-can-eat restaurant as often as I can manage it. So it was Preto today. I might do JRC Global, local to me, tomorrow, but I'm going to try and hit an all-you-can-eat every day now until I hit that goal. Then I can show you all, celebrate with you all, give thanks to you all for your support on this, and move on with life in a much more sensible direction, but still providing a video every day. So if you are interested in seeing all of the workouts and getting all the diet advice, PED discussions, contest coverage, all of that, make sure you subscribe. And speaking of the channel and subscriptions, I just got approached by a young man here in the gym before I started recording, who'd actually seen my channel, seen me around, and wanted to talk for advice about YouTube. How funny is that? I'm like a complete newbie at this. I was sort of half thinking, what do you want advice from me on that sort of thing for? I mean, if you want advice from me about how to get fucking massive, then that sort of makes sense, because I'm now, obese from my efforts in that regard. But I'm sort of still kind of underweight, a little bit anorexic in terms of my social media mastery. But he's doing really well. He's only been doing this a month, and he's got over 100 subscribers on YouTube. And I quite like his channel because he's a bit younger than me, and he's done the sensible thing of documenting his journey from the very beginning. So I'm actually going to give him a little shout out. If you go, he's on YouTube, and it's at MCA Lifts, or it's called Mike Lifts. This is his channel, right? So I have quality controlled this. I had a quick look at one of his videos, and he seems confident on camera. He's showing all of his workouts. But if you wanted to see someone a little bit younger than old me here, showing a little bit more of a journey from the beginning, this is someone else in North London that's doing that. So check him out. And if you want all the mad ramblings and contest prep stuff, then I'm still your guy. So there's that. So I'm enjoying making the content still, and it is good to bump into other people that are being consistent with making videos, because it is the thing. I wish I had done this earlier, when I had kind of more progress to document, because I think for all of the kind of development that I'm going to get, most of it I have done now for my lifetime. And I don't have so much of a back catalogue of pictures, videos of everything for the last 20 years behind me. All I have is kind of everything that I've read, everything that I've learned. And so I can explain things in a way that separates the fact from the fiction, and what's most important to focus on, and how to plan diets, and how to get in contest shape, how to get totally shredded, all that kind of thing. But in terms of making something more relatable to a younger audience, you know, I've lost the opportunity to do that now. So, you know, I don't know, just felt like I'm now living vicariously in another way, seeing someone else who's sort of done it the right way by documenting all of that from the beginning. So that's Mike. And I'm always bumping into people in the gyms that I know. Like, you get to this sort of like weird size where no matter what gym you go to, you don't look quite normal, and then you just find the strangers come and give you a little fist bump or want to chat. So it's always like a social occasion, whether I want it to be or not, when I take a trip to the gym. So I've had a little bit of that. I do enjoy it. So, you know, if you are local and you do see me around, like, come and say hello. You know, I'm always excited to meet people that share this same hobby, the same interest, and are doing it around here. So yeah, if you're London based, come and say hi. If you're not London based and you want to interact or have any questions, just make sure you pop them in the comments. Now I'm going to get warmed up. It is arms, triceps first, and I'll join you over in the gym for that Arsenal strength above head extension first, but then the other triceps exercises are going to be different angles so that we get all emphasis on different parts of the triceps. Same strategy for biceps, and then wrap it all up in the end. Okay, set one on the tricep overhead extension machine. It's got a little foot pedal here to raise it up, and I'm trying 50 kilos, which was a lot more than last time. I don't know how this is going to go, but I'm ready. That's so good, honestly. It's not often I get excited about a machine. I'm more of a free weights guy, especially for upper body, but this is the mutt's nuts. The dog's danglies, the canine's cojones. I'm gonna crank it up to 68 kilos now, as that first set went fine. Okay, set two, taking it that bit heavier. I think this could be the one for me for that angle. Everything else I've been doing lately is a little bit too achy on the elbows, but this is absolutely fine. So I think I can go a touch heavier than that. If I put two more plates on, I'm up to 86 kilos. I'd quite like that, because that's the year I was born. And I'm very proud of that year, because that's the year when all the awesome thrash metal albums came out, isn't it? What's cooler than that? Nothing. Set three. So there's only 3 more on the stack on this bad boy. I feel like it'd be a missed opportunity to not try it all and see how many reps I get now that I'm all warmed up on it. So here goes at 113. Alright, here goes. It's even harder to get up with my foot. Be alright. Okay, 8.5, not bad. That was today's dose of ego lifting, I suppose. So something else for triceps, but completely different angle. So it's been a while since I've done the bro's eye view. I feel like doing it again in this absolutely cavernous place and take a walk through what I would have considered and then what I'm actually going to do for the second exercise. So what I would have liked to have done is some close grip pressing over here where all the barbells are, but as I did chest yesterday, I don't think I'll be able to do that on full, so that's not going to be the choice for today. So if we just pop round into the corner, I find myself some basic push downs, you know, not the most exotic of exercises for the arms, but it's reliable, and it's more that kind of lateral head of the triceps that is most noticeable, I suppose. So I know the heavier ones on this side, so we'll linger over here. Set 1 push downs. A touch heavier now. And last one. Well, let's make that a drop set. They were feeling exceptionally good on this particular exercise, and it's easy enough with a pin. That's better. Definitely need to keep those drops in, sets in on those. Get my breath back and talk properly. But always much more convenient on the machines with the pin than anything plate loaded. Although quite easy with dumbbells as well. Last one I'm going to do here on triceps is going to be that skull crusher angle, but with dumbbells, as I'm finding that a bit easier on the elbows as well. So when you do a tricep workout or a bicep workout, the main angles would be the overhead one, the skull crusher one, the close grip one, and the push down one. They're like the 4 categories. So different ones that would fit into the first category would be like a rope overhead press or a dumbbell French press, that one, or the machine that I use. The skull crusher one would be certain machines that work that angle, or a barbell or dumbbells while lying on your back pressed that way. Close grip pressing is self-explanatory, and then the pushdown one can be done with cable and various different attachments. So even if you weren't going to do all angles all workout, you know, that can be overkill in a lot of cases, not necessary. But even if you were going to do, say, 2 tricep exercises, what I generally recommend is that you pick 2 that are from different categories, so different angles, and that's just a few examples there. Set 1. Oh, I can go a bit heavier than that. I'll switch these out for something else. Okay. So after that second set there, I don't want to be going any heavier than that on this exercise when putting it at this stage of my routine. But what I am going to show you is a drop set, because I was just mentioning over there on the cables, the machine cable with the pin, but it's also very convenient with dumbbells, so why not show it? Why not use it today? So last set on here is going to be the 20s down to the 12s, and that's it for triceps. No, that's it. All done for triceps. I'll make sure to put all my weights away. Otherwise we'd be swimming in dumbbells down here with all the shit people leaving out. Moving on to the biceps portion of this arms workout. I'm going to take the same kind of philosophy as what I did with triceps with different angles. So I'll be looking at something kind of straight, something at the preacher angle, maybe something elbows behind, but might just use 2 for today because I'm taking it easier on biceps, as that's where I had slightly pulled it on the right arm. So I'm going to start with dumbbell curls, and I'm going to do 25 kilo ones because I don't really want to push it with everything with the arm. I've had no problems lately, so it does look to be kind of fixed, but it's not the time to push it to the max just yet on the load. So I'll take the 25s and do decent reps instead of going super heavy for this exercise. And then probably one more exercise, something at the preacher angle, and that'll be biceps done for the day. Yeah, that's good. No problems on that set, so I think the arms are well on the way to recovery. And second set. So I'll make sure to get old Arnold in the background for a set on biceps. That definitely works, right? Although I'm going to go one notch lighter for the last set, so I'm not really pushing it with biceps at this minute, as you know. But I can admire Arnold up there hitting a back double by the looks of it. That's all we got on this. I'll get back to the maximum on biceps in the coming months, I'm sure. Another bro's eye view. I'll walk back round as I find something for that preacher curl angle. So I'm just going to leave it at the 2 exercises for biceps and really look after myself. But these sorts of machines, these machine preacher curls, they don't work too good for me. But one piece they do have on the cable that I remember is back over in the corner. So we've got quite an unusual piece where I can just get the preacher curl angle, but it's less restrictive than working with the machine because it's not the fulcrum to like my elbow upwards. So this is what we're going to use. Set one. Yeah, that's about right. Now my most usual thing for that preacher curl angle would be the spider curls with the dumbbells. That's the one where you lie on your belly on the diagonally angled incline bench and just let the arms hang in front of you with dumbbells and curl them up to your head for that angle. But it's just so non-restrictive that I find it really effective for just working on your biceps. So more lately I've been using that hammer strength MTS bicep curl where your arms go up on the pads, and I find if I do my grip on the bottom of my hand it sort of focuses a bit more on my biceps and doesn't let my forearms take over from the hand moving it in on the wrist, like keeping grip as a slip back from having the longer limbs. So I'd sort of adjusted my use of that machine to make it quite good, but probably that's my second favourite for that angle after the spider curls. And this is good, but I sort of show it for variety. But it's not my go-to because out of the gyms I go to, they've only got this set up here. To replicate this elsewhere, if you really wanted to, you could take some kind of preacher bench and line it up with a low cable pulley. If it was adjustable and you could put it at the right angle, that's something you could try if you're interested in this one. But ready for set 2 now. Last one, biceps. last set of the workout, and I'll make it count, and then wrap it all up for a little chat at the end of the video here. It's getting busy now. Done. Oh, really enjoyed that. Felt like, not a very long workout for me, as I've toned down the volume and the weights for the time being, with a few little aches and pains I've had, but still worked up quite a sweat. Quite out of breath on some of those sets. I think even arms, even though it's not really going to be as heavy and hard as legs or back, but I still think if you work your hardest, you should be out of breath at some point, probably working up at a bit of a sweat. Why wouldn't you work arms really hard? I always sort of feel like it's essential for bodybuilding. It's like almost a flexed arm is almost what you associate with muscle immediately, or what the general public does anyway. So I always think that standout arms look awesome on anyone who's blessed enough and hardworking enough to get them. But for me, just got this really long limbs and sort of some short attachments going on there as well. So while my arms have got up to 20 inches, my silly frame kind of look about 15 inches. Yeah. So I'm back where we started to wrap this all up, and may as well return to the same sorts of topics, as I was just talking to them at the reception there about the bulking, getting chit chat about how things are going, and I was just singing the praises of that restaurant, Preto. I was saying earlier about how the meal plan has kind of fallen off a bit now, and now it's just go all out for the sprint finish for this challenge. That's where I was earlier today. I was doing the Preto, but I didn't want to make the video in there because I felt like I'd eat more if I wasn't kind of making a video. So I did eat more. I had my fill, and I had 2 breaks during it. They really don't seem to mind. They sort of know me in there and look after me a little bit as well. So they let me do my thing. Was in there for 3 hours, and my weight today reflects that, as you know from earlier. And I think that's going to be a large part of this sprint finish to the 300 pounds challenge. I think any day that I can fit it in the schedule. That's why I'm training a little bit later, because I didn't want to sick up my monstrous lunch. And when it comes to, this is something useful I was going to say, when it comes to post-workout nutrition, what they used to say was have it as soon as possible, and the lean protein and fast digesting carbs and all of that to get it in the system straight away. Well, there's that great demand for it with the post-workout situation. Sort of the thinking is now that that's not as important as they thought it was, and I think a lot of those studies emphasising how quickly to get it in after the workout was sort of financed by people selling protein shakes, basically. So these tend to be financed by people with an interest in the result one way or another, a lot of these studies. I think that's what was going on with a lot of that, and now it's sort of fallen by the wayside, and people have their protein shakes and meal replacement shakes anyway. But I actually do eat in that fashion post-workout, because my post-workout thing is cream of rice and white fish. I used to mix it all together thinking that boiling the white fish would make it so flavourless that you could just hide it in the cream of rice of whatever flavour you want, but it was sort of still a little bit weird and had kind of a rubbery, chewy texture in the bits with the fish in it. So now I just have them separate, and will eat like all of the fish with about a third of the cream of rice in different spoonfuls alternating between each bowl, and then finish all up on the cream of rice like a dessert. And that's very pleasant. But my rationale with it is that it's a way of catching up and keeping on top of food for the whole day, because if you look at how much you'd eat if you were seriously bulking and you're already quite heavy, sort of my situation here, or your situation if you're going to go into like full-on bodybuilding mode, you'd be trying to evenly space, you know, those meals throughout the day, 5 or 6, roughly even. But if you obviously do a workout, which that's kind of necessary as well, as you hopefully know, you're going to miss more time. You know, it usually creates like time where there's more of a wait, or you would have had to have made a packed meal to travel with, or other hassles, or it just often means that there's more of a gap. So for the post-workout meal to be something that digests quite quickly, you find that it doesn't really satiate your appetite as well as like a really solid meal, or a meal with higher fat would, so or fat protein combo would. So what my thinking is that to stay ahead of the game and catch up for food for the whole day, if we created more of a time weight of spacing meals because of the workout, is you get that one in, because probably 90 minutes later you'll be ready for the next meal after that. There could be something more substantial. So that's kind of where I put it strategically, to keep control of the whole day in what I'm doing. So you know, you may find that useful. But for me, that works a whole lot better than any kind of protein shake. I'm very much an advocate of whole foods, real foods. And definitely pre-contest food is the thing that you manipulate the most and has the greatest bearing on how, you know, conditioned, detailed, hard, dry you look. You know, all those kind of ways that you look at it. Usually only a pre-contest thing. If you're trying to look like that or close to that year round, that's going to limit like how much you could grow, which is not what most people want. Most people want like a kind of growth progression through the year, as well as those peaks, or like cut down every summer or something like that. It's only really when you've reached the kind of size bracket that you want that you try and sustain something that's like a 3 weeks out look by keeping your food that tight. And I think when we see people do that, they're usually like kind of aesthetic bodybuilder, social media bodybuilder, like that kind of profile person sort of sometimes does that. And that's a good look for, you know, presenting something really consistently amazing looking when you're online all the time. But the ones that are like that, where they also compete and they also progress from year to year, usually what they're doing is taking loads of photos and doing loads of photo shoots in the 2 or 3 weeks lead up to their main contest, or in the area of the year where they're going to do 2 or 3 contests, take all that content and just bank it all and then pump it out throughout the year. But the other half of the year in the winter, they've got a little pot belly going on like me. Yeah. I'm not just saying that to feel better. That is what they do, because they've told me. Some of them have, or you see it for yourself. I'm just sort of, you know, just sharing that in case like you see stuff online that makes you feel like you're you know, you can never achieve like what other people are doing, or you feel like you're nowhere near, or it's impossible, or how is this realistic? I'm sort of like breaking down how it's projecting something that's not entirely real, so that you can like feel better about that. Or if you were trying to learn how to market yourself or present yourself a certain way online, you know, you might take that strategy. That's really why I'm saying that, or revealing that. But I need to post a little bit more on Instagram. I've got a few pictures on there if you do want to check out kind of what I do look like contest time and on stage, and or cut down, you know, the finished product of the finished product of a year ago. The last time I competed was a year ago. Like all that's on my Instagram, same name, Physique Philosopher. And if you need to talk to me directly, you can contact me on there rather than the comments here. If it's something more in depth that you'd rather talk about one-to-one, and contact me on there. And I'll be sticking to YouTube as my main focus, so as I enjoy explaining things a little bit more at length and having a bit more interaction with people than is typical for on Instagram, where it's all kind of like scrolling through and you only give a few seconds to each thing. I feel like there's more of a connection with the audience out there doing this, and I've really enjoyed that. So as I was saying to Mike, the guy that spoke to me at the start, I sort of wish I'd done it sooner, because I found it really satisfying, and I've met loads of people by going to the kind of events I've gone to lately to film more varied content with interviews and such like, and I've enjoyed it and found it so rewarding. I wish I had done this sooner. So that's what part of what propels me to do a video every day, or almost every day, is that I'm making up for lost ground and have all that enthusiasm left after all this time that I've never put out there before. So I'm really enjoying it. I'm in the gym regularly, and that seems to be what people like to see, not just me sat in the chair like the early videos, and sort of carry on like this. The next event I'm looking at going to, though, is that One Bro Pro show down at Maidenhead, not this weekend but the following weekend, where they've got Classic Physique Pro show. So a Classic Physique bodybuilder that I think is amazing is Craig Morton. He'll be competing, and yeah, I think that'll be a good show to watch. So that'll be the next trip out by the looks of things. We're halfway through the week. I'm guessing that you trained shoulders today, something like that, and I hope it was a good session, and I'll speak to you all tomorrow. Cheers.